The Dodgers pitching staff is starting to look like a conga line heading straight to the emergency room. Cooper Kupp sounds like a 1990s R&B artist while trying to get Odell Beckham Jr. to return to the Rams. And a sibling rivalry has lasted for decades, so much so that it might actually mean selling the Los Angeles Chargers. Good morning, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is Faithful Angelenos. It is March 11, 2022. I'm still stuck in a basement in Omaha, Nebraska. I would like to say it's against my will, but I got paid earlier today, so maybe not. But before I go back home to the wife, back out west, let's talk LA sports. Feel free to clickety-clack the like button, clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. We put out videos between 9 and 10 a.m. every day to let you know it's there. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And yes, comment. Because I ain't perfect. The Dodgers flew back out west. They landed in San Francisco, and Walker Buehler only lasted 4 innings, complaining of discomfort in his right elbow. By the way, the Dodgers lost that game 7-2. But I have to tell you, starting to get a little leery every time a Dodger pitcher claims discomfort. Clayton Kershaw claimed discomfort. Andrew Heaney claimed discomfort. Blake Trinan claimed discomfort. Some of these guys aren't even returning for the year because of discomfort. Discomfort is when you have a wedgie down there. This is not discomfort, okay? By the way, the series with the Giants continues today at 4 o'clock. Julio Urias, he's 3-5 against the oh-so-dreaded player to be named later. Meanwhile, Fred Williams' debut as Sparks interim head coach, is tonight. They'll play Vegas at 6. Dodger notes. Closer Craig Kimbrell returns from paternity leave. As a result, Mitch White, he gets optioned back to AAA. I got to tell you, the LA Times made a pretty good point about the Dodgers today. If you remember, before the year, we were told this was going to be one of the all-time great offenses in baseball history. Now, they're good. They lead MLB in runs scored per game. But there's a gaping hole in the lineup. You see, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Trey Turner, they're 1, 2, 3. They're just beating the daylights out of everybody. But once you get to the cleanup spot, Dodger hitters who have batted in the cleanup spot have combined for a 194 batting average. And by the way, number 5, where normally Justin Turner hits, it's even worse. It's 183. Cooper Kupp wants Odell Beckham Jr. back with the Rams. He really wants Odell Beckham Jr. back with the Rams. Dude, you read these quotes, I swear to God, it's like he's trying to write out a slow jam from the 1990s. Do yourself a favor, pause this tape, go break out your iPhone and play in the background some Keith Sweat or Boys to Men or Johnny Gill while I read this quote to you. I want him back. I want him to come back so bad, but that's something they're working through. I just keep asking him. Keep asking him what it looks like. Hopefully, one of these days. Luther Vandross should be pitching this guy to Odell Beckham Jr. What the hell, man? I mean, do you really have to go to slow jams? Do you really have to play that route? Are slow jams more powerful than the salary cap? That's my question. By the way, can we take a moment, switching gears, and appreciate Lincoln Riley's troll game? See, the USC coach has been taking it from all comers over the last few months. Oh, he left Oklahoma high and dry, and oh, he's breaking every recruiting rule known to mankind. What a scumbag. And he just sat back, and he kept his mouth shut until ESPN interviewed him. Then he went for the passive-aggressive slam, and I applaud him for it. He's talking about, oh, it's so much easier to build a team out at USC than it ever was at Oklahoma. Wow. my life is so much easier now at USC. I mean, yeah, I got Oklahoma to the college football playoff, but we were at best talent-wise. We were at best third. More often than not, we were fourth. But at USC, I applaud you, Coach. That is sliding that knife right in between the rib cage, arcing it up, and going for the aorta. I appreciate you. By the way, Athlon has released a preseason all Pac-12 conference team. UCLA has 7 Bruins on it. So I wouldn't go to sleep on UCLA. We've talked a lot about USC because they've taken all the headlines, and I get that. Don't go to sleep on UCLA. Zach Charbonnet, Casimir Allen, Charbonnet the running back, Allen the kick returner, they are both first team. And by the way, it's interesting. Jake Bobo is second team preseason all Pac-12. But he hasn't played a down yet. He transferred in from Duke. But let's get to the main topic. What do you say? I've read 5 to 6 articles on the Spanos family today because Dean Spanos' sister is once again trying to get the team to be sold. And she's pulling out all the stops, and the vast majority of it just sounds so petty and stupid, okay? The sister's name is Dia Berberian. And her first lawsuit was filed to try to sell the team, was filed last year. Now, if you're in San Diego, you're probably sitting there going, hey, great, thanks for waiting 6 years there, lady. Totally dig it. But let's break it down because it could lead to some major turmoil for the Chargers after spending all that energy and all that money trying to rebuild the team on the fly. They are co-trustees of the Alex and Faye Spanos Family Trust. What she is alleging is that, among other things, she's alleging misogyny. And I'm going to tell you, the reporters are all about the misogyny. I don't think it means crap, but I'll get to that in a moment. She's alleging that. She's alleging that Dean Spanos has run the Chargers into financial ruin. I could totally prove that wrong. That's crap. But she is also alleging that Dean Spanos used $60 million of that trust fund for personal use. I can't prove yet that to be wrong, and I'm not doing investigative journalism. I'm saying that might actually be where her case lies. But we're going to get to that in due time. She clearly wants the Chargers to be sold. Her very first lawsuit against her brother last year, that was the goal, to get him to sell the team. However, the NFL, there were rumors that they were going to step in, bring in their lawyers, so that lawsuit went to arbitration. This one, however, is not trying to get him directly to sell the team. It is trying to remove him as a co-trustee. Now, why does this matter? The Chargers, the Spanos family owns 96% of the Chargers. The trust owns 36%. There are 4 Spanos siblings. Each one owns 15%. If Dean Spanos is out and she comes in, 36% plus 15% equals 51%. And therefore, she becomes a majority owner and she can do what she damn well wants. So this is an end run to try to sell the team. Let's not mince any words here. Now, let's take these charges. Before we get to these charges, let's talk about Dean Spanos. I am not trying to tell you Dean Spanos is a good guy. He took over the team in 1994. That was 10 years after the family bought the team. He is not popular in San Diego. The first year he was running the thing, yeah, they go to the Super Bowl. They get the living daylights kicked out of them by San Francisco. But Dean Spanos parlayed that. The first thing he wanted was upgrades to Qualcomm. San Diego scratched the check. Then he wanted a brand new stadium really quickly after that. And San Diego was like, nah, we can't afford it. And so what does Dean Spanos do? He pulls a team out of San Diego, brings them to LA. So I'm not trying to tell you this guy is an angel. Okay? But, and also, by the way, the sister is being represented by the lawyer who represented Jeannie Buss in her fight to wrestle control of the Lakers from her brother. And this guy also represented Steve Ballmer in trying to wrestle control of the Clippers from Donald Sterling. So this guy does have a track record, the lawyer. But this is where I think most of the case, falls apart. First, reporters are like all agog on the misogyny angle because it sounds so sexy and controversial. Oh, he's a misogynist. Here's the problem. The only thing that we have to go on so far is her word. Quote, that Dean believes that men should be in charge and women should shut up. So what? My wife thinks she should be in charge and I should shut the hell up. What's the difference? You don't see me suing my wife on the basis of misogyny. See, in order to prove misogyny, you need a bunch of female charger employers saying, oh my God, this guy's a creep, yada, yada, yada. Or you need like a series of barmaids and waitresses and frankly, strippers and prostitutes lining up saying this guy abused them. But we don't see that. So that's not going to fly that far, in my opinion. The second charge about leading that she's claimed the move to Los Angeles has been financially ruinous for the Chargers. Really? Forbes magazine estimates the Chargers are now worth $2.9 billion. Matter of fact, the value of the team increased 12% from last year. Does that sound financially ruinous to you? Because it doesn't to me. I'll show you my bank account. That's financially ruinous. This, not so much. To me, the basis of everything lies in whether or not she can prove that Dean Spanos used the trust fund for personal issues, for personal things that are outside the scope of the fund. Because I can't tell you yay or nay if he did. All I'm hearing about is misogyny and allegedly how the Chargers are poor when clearly they're not. Now, as you know, I like to clown a lot of sports writers because, like I said, in this case, they care more about misogyny or allegations of misogyny than they do financial misfeasance. That's a problem in the American journalism sphere. But they are also claiming that whatever happens in this case, it will not affect the team on the field. Wrong. Hogwash. It will affect the team. And if you're a Chargers fan, this is where you need to be extremely concerned. It always affects teams when there's shaky ownership. Talk about the Dodgers in 2011. Major League Baseball took the team away from Frank McCourt. What happened? No ownership. The team struggled. They finished in third place. They stunk. In addition to that, you had the Clippers. The Clippers were in the playoffs. They were playing a vulnerable Golden State Warriors team. Not the Golden State Warriors as we know them now. Not the Splash Brothers. Not Steve Kerr. They were coached by Mark Jackson. They had a completely different offense. They were struggling. But Clippers owner Donald Sterling, they found out what he was saying. And the Clippers didn't even put up a fight in the playoffs. They got smoked. Ownership changes do affect teams. I say this because the Chargers, again, rebuilt on the fly. They have a potential Super Bowl contender there. And the sister is using some weird sort of sibling rivalry from decades of yore to try to cash in on a $2.9 billion investment. In my opinion, which could be wrong, but I don't think it is. Now, if you enjoyed today's episode, thank you very much. You should like and subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We try to put out new videos every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Have a great day.